Hello tankers and welcome back to the Commander's Hatch. It's me again, Shownuff79, and today we will review the Edelweiss. So it goes like this for me. I bought the pack and I got both of them at once, day one actually. The Nameless was my most anticipated of these two tanks, but the Edelweiss was my surprise. I really fell in love with the tank. I really fell into the role of playing this medium monster a lot quicker than I did the Nameless. Lately, I've been having some pretty good games in the Nameless. I posted a couple of rounds in the last video with the review of the Nameless. The Edelweiss, on the other hand, I find myself running it as a scout, like a support scout, flanking and everything as much as I can as possible because it really excels at that. So let's get down to it, shall we? Let me show you what I've been up to in the Edelweiss so you can get an idea of how long I've been playing it and how well I've been doing in it. 73 battles, 57 kills, 70 hit rate, and my damage standing is climbing. So I'll have a mark on it before you know it. Oh man, it's a wonderful tank. It is truly a wonderful tank, and if you are trying to decide whether or not you wanted to buy the Edelweiss or the Nameless, personally, I recommend the Edelweiss versus the Nameless. Even though the Nameless is a very good tank, I just favor the Edelweiss more, especially since I get to scoot around the battlefield at 60 kilometers an hour. Oh, let's get down to the nitty gritty, shall we? Oh, let's see. Rough stats on the right side: firepower, survivability, mobility, concealment, and spotting. 84 on spotting. That it does fantastic at spotting. So much so, I put coded optics on it, and I'm training situational awareness right now, and I follow it up with some recon and sixth sense to kind of keep myself out of trouble. Concealment on is 41, so I also plan on speccing it into all the camouflage possible. It makes me plenty gold, silver. I wish it made gold. It makes me plenty silver. So gun ram and vertical stabs and coded optics is how I run it. 12 premium noob rounds and 48 standard. All right, let's get on over here to the nitty gritty. Engine power versus the 570 of the Nameless. This one has 800 and it really gets up to speed rather fast. The acceleration is amazing. I've caught myself jumping over little bumps and just soaring through the air and actually falling to my death a couple of times because I misjudged. Yeah. This gun is an 88 as well. The reload on it is a 7.5, an astonishing 7.5. If I'm not mistaken, I think I can get that down in a 6 range. Max elevation on the gun, 15 degrees, same as the Nameless. Depression in the winter is 8 degrees of gun depression. When you facing 8 degrees of gun depression versus the 5 of the Nameless, you have an easy standout, in my opinion. The gun is a slugger. It really does a good job. Near penetration on is 161 and standard shell damage is 258. Now 161 might not seem like much. Now keep in mind what I said. I run this tank as a support / flanker. I use my speed to my advantage. I try to get around to the soft bits of a tank and then I open up. I'm not going to try to take on a stinking E5 or nothing like that head on. And yes, it does see tier 10 lobbies. It's a tier 8 and it does not have premium matchmaking, preferred matchmaking. You will see 10s in this little tank and you'll do fine. Don't panic. Play the tank. Don't just sit back and spam premium rounds. I mean, you can do that if you want to. You really don't have to. Like I said, if you play it smart, get in, tap, hide, however you want to do your support flanking, do just that. I've used that to some pretty vicious effect, and I'll have to show y'all a couple of clips of it at the end. I'll see how I want to do that. I'm gonna show it in action on why I like it as a flank tank. So the ground traverse is very low. The terrain resistance is low. The rotation speed is 42 degrees a second. And I love it. Look at this turret traverse. 38 degrees. View range 390. You can really light them up. Really light them up. This is an excellent tank for somebody that's accustomed to playing lights and mediums already. The difference is you can really get out there in this medium tank and light them up and surprisingly bounce some shots. I mean, you got the radio range 750, and here's the ammo loadout. Froze up there for a second. Penetration 146 to 244 depending, and the velocity is 850 and 1050. So just a little bit less than that of the Nameless. The Nameless standard shells were 900, and these are 1050. So that's nothing to frown at. It does the job for me, and like I said, it is possible to pin with standard ammo, even on 10s. You just gotta use the tank's speed to your advantage. So, as we look at the armor, we're gonna look at the overall armor of this bad boy. Maximum armor on this tank is 91 to 120. And those are the light green bits right up front. Surprisingly so, I have bounced rounds in this tank, and I don't understand it. I've bounced rounds in this tank, and I've bounced off of other tanks. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but there is a lot of spaced armor going on right here. As you look around, especially the gun mantlet up here. Yeah, it's 1 to 20 millimeters, and then it's followed up by some pretty intricate bits. Here, let's do it like this. There we go. Gun mantle. Underneath the gun mantle, at the very back of it, in that little space, more of the gun mantle. You see what I'm getting at here? The cheeks are a little bit more rounded and contoured, so they can bounce rounds. That commander's hatch is going to be a soft spot for anybody to take advantage of that knows what they're doing. Any confident tanker is going to hit you right there anyhow. So there's not a whole lot to celebrate about the armor. The space bits on the track really help out a lot. They protect those tracks, and those are where I've had the most of my bounced rounds. So thank God. It don't look like much, but it is rather effective, I'll say. It is very effective. So if you're looking for an armored juggernaut, go for the Nameless. If you're looking for a speedy flanker, here you go right here. And that nice little bit right there beneath the gun, it don't do much, like I said, but hopefully if you're playing this tank the right way, you won't be taking many head-on shots from anybody. And you won't have to worry about that, especially the thin armor up front. Look at the lower. The lower is 71 to 90 millimeters thick. That ain't bouncing nothing. There's just lots and lots of thinly armored bits overlapping, and that really works out to some sort of magical effect in World of Tanks. So just like I did on the Nameless video, I'm gonna put the link for the armor penetration layout for World of Tanks in there so you get a good idea of what goes on with all of these different layers. So I really enjoy the tank. It is a fantastic little beastie. It's an 88 gun. I know a lot of people say the guns are overpowered for what they are. Maybe they should have scaled up the caliber on them, made them say a 100 millimeter gun on the Nameless. And this one, honestly, at 88, I feel like this gun is fair. This is a fair gun with fair average damage on an 88. It's higher than some, but hey, it's got to fight 10s too, so it's got to have a sporting chance at surviving such encounter. That said, I really enjoy the tank. It's a lot of fun. The commander for this one, I will say, he is a lot less annoying than Carissa is. Velkin is, yeah, he's got a deeper Japanese over. Yeah, it's not that bad. If you're worried about the speech of the drivers, or the commanders, I should say. Oh boy, overall, I'd say this is a fantastic tank. If you play lights, you play mediums, not a bad pickup. If you're used to heavies and TDs, I'd say go for the Nameless. It's got a little bit more armor going on for it up front, and surprisingly bounces a lot more than it should in some situations. But it is what it is. Know a lot of people, like I said, they're not very fond of these tanks, but it's all in fun. And that's pretty much it for the review portion of the video. Like I said, there's not a whole lot to delve into with this tank. You hear most of the moaning about the Nameless versus the Edelweiss. But to me, I think you got a lot more to be worried about out of this Edelweiss, because it's a sneaky little sucker. And with the right crew perks and skills laid out on it, man, it is a force to be reckoned with. So enough of that. On to the replay, shall we? All right, so it's time we took the Edelweiss out for a little roll. I'm just going to show you how this game went. It was a pretty good game I'd like to consider for myself, but did I get 8,000 damage? No, but I played my role, except for right there. I don't know what the hell I was doing on the side of that hill. So, and there I go again. I really kind of got in that time. Now, what happened right there was this. I was looking at the map, but I'm used to starting on the other side. So I had to get, never mind. Back to the replay. Yeah, once more, just like getting my little Tony Hawk on right there. So I apologize. I didn't have any idea that I would wind up using this video for my review, but it wound up being a pretty good game. So why not? You know what I mean? So yeah, about that. As I try to roll into combat, I thought I had Def in this game with me, but I'm by myself. And so I didn't want to subject him to my noobness to this tank and learning where I'm going to go. As per the norm, everybody likes to roll up to this corner where we're going to lock horns and see who wants it more. Who can take the corner? Oh, man. First up, T95E2. I don't really know why I pushed so far. I should have went up the hill over there where the other medium and that TD is at, who is, in my opinion, out of place, but he's doing his thing. Miss. You know, me and that guy really couldn't come to an agreement over who was gonna hold that spot, but he did a good job. Yep, he's soaking up those shots, so that's all I can ask from the guy. So far, I really hadn't got into much, and I was surprised that this wound up being a pretty decent game. And that's the kind of shots that I'm talking about right there. The IS-3 was side on, and that's where the Edelweiss flourishes, not head on. If I can get the side of a target, standard ammo is going to be just fine. Every now and again, whenever the battle winds down and I find myself in a tough spot where I don't need to bounce, I definitely need a penetration, I'll swap over to premium just to make sure I get those shots in and I don't want to risk dying. But that's my rationale behind when will I not use premium ammo? That was tough to say. That poor IS, man, he didn't have a damn iceberg chance in hell over there. He was caught between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, I'm surprised I bounced a shot right there, to be honest. Poor guy. Poor guy. And there went the kill. Who cares, though? I did my job. I got out there. I supported my guys. That's what I like to do, and that's what I did. Yeah, I wanted to kill, but damn, you know. T29. Oh, man. Artillery. You gotta love them, right? Can't live with them. Can't nuke their ass right back whenever they hit you with some BS from across the map, but it is what it is. Homeboy wanted to kiss a little bit before we roll back into combat, so let's go. This, surprisingly, I don't know. It's like everything just kept falling in place for me. I was kind of pushing the front with my team, playing this tank a lot more aggressive than I should have. Even though, like I said, I like to try to flank in as much as I can. There isn't many avenues for attack on this particular map. If you roll across the middle, TD is going to eat you alive. If you go this way, you got to fight the heavies. So, as you can see, I keep getting my assist damage, which I excel at. Thank God I got to a good roll and artillery couldn't zero in on my ass again, because that really hurt. That hurt a lot. And God almighty, man. Oh, what's that, a T95 if I'm not mistaken? Anytime, I don't care what tank I'm in, when I see a T95, I start sweating a little bit. Snapshot missed. T95, thankfully, I can see his top. That's the only way I knew I was going to get through him, though. Any other time, any other position, no way. That T95 as safe as can be, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything to him. But sadly for this AT-15, I don't know why he rolled up on me like this. I really don't know why he rolled up on me like this. And he done his thing, but I knew this is all I had to do to get in the clear of this guy. And if you can't handle tough imagery, I advise you look away right now, because yeah, things about to get dirty. Real dirty. This poor man didn't have a chance in hell getting away. Oh my God. I really hate when this shit happens to me, so I couldn't help myself. He tried to run though. Why did he try to run? Don't run, motherfucker. Oh man. Oh boy. I amuse myself too much. That's pretty much the end of the action in this one. You know, I got a pretty good amount of pins and got that kill right there. And that was the main reason I wanted to share this, cause man, how many times the end result for that match, 131,000 silver, and that's no ops or anything. That's just earnings. Thanks to the assist and the 3697 damage, it wasn't bad. So that does it for my review of the Edelweiss, ladies and gentlemen. And I appreciate you all coming out to check out the review. And I will update the reviews as needed. If it's nerfed, I'll put out another one. If it's nerfed again, we'll talk about it some more. But for now, that's all I got for y'all. And I appreciate y'all stopping by. Please drop me a like and leave me some feedback below. It is very much appreciated. And thank you for your time.
Oh, no.